here's something that probably nobody else has said to you while you look around and think about, gosh, things are really, really difficult. Maybe just in your personal life or maybe in the world. But has anyone said to you yet? Make art like a grandmother. That's the solution. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from thesamanthawild.com. So happy that you're here with me. I'm here in my freezing studio. For those who don't know me, I am an art weaver. I am a mother of 6. I am a novelist. I'm a writer. I am a spiritual mentor. I am a longtime yogi, but not in this dress. I love that you're all here. Thank you to all my subscribers. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you to my new subscribers who got me over 300. And I know that's small potatoes, but I am really excited and very grateful. Don't forget, while you're here, give me the thumbs up and subscribe. Head on over to my website and see my weaving shop. There's all kinds of wonderful things. And today I want to talk about this. My rag bag, but not just any rag bag. It's called my Beauty for Ashes rag bag, and it was woven on my peg loom. You want to know something interesting? Peg looms, and I'll link to this one I got from Wheeled and Wool down below. Peg looms are thought to be as old as the Vikings and used that long. So talk about being a grandma. I wove my beautiful bag, and I'd love to show you the inside of it too. I'm going to turn it inside out while we're chatting. I wove this bag from 2 dresses that I don't wear, never wore. They were beautiful, I love the fabric, but they never fit me. And I used the pockets of one of the dresses to become the pockets of the bag. So here is the inside of the bag, and those are the darling little pockets. I did all the sewing by hand, just to say. Not my strongest suit, being a seamstress, but I wove this by making strips of fabric and sewed it together. I wanted it to be absolutely the simplest design I could possibly think of. And I think I did a pretty good job. What do you think? So what does this have to do with making art like a grandma? I want you to be creating and crafting like grandmothers did. Now, I don't mean your grandmother per se or my grandmother necessarily. I mean grandmother as a genre. And when you think about grandmothers as a genre, in addition to kind of maybe looking something like me, and I'm wearing many layers, it is very cold in my studio again, we think about grandmothers as having ingenuity and creativity and using things, use it up, do without, what's that old phrase? Anyway, I can't remember what it is. How does it help us when times are really hard to actually be creating like a grandmother? It's also the same for like how we're thinking like a grandmother, living like a grandmother, accessing those inner resources, because that's what grandma had. She may not have had a lot of stuff or a lot of ability to buy stuff, or she wasn't a billionaire. Maybe she didn't have a lot of power, but she had inner resources. So when we are creating, whatever we're creating, a house we're building, a cake we're making, a poem we're writing, a bag we're weaving, we want to sort of imbibe that grandma ingenuity, that grandma genius. And that's what I did with taking these rags and making my rag bag. Now I call the Beauty for Ashes rag bag. Beauty for Ashes is a line from the Hebrew scriptures. And the idea is that we give our ashes, and the great I am gives us beauty in return for it. But I love this concept that you can take stuff that you don't wear, that's not worthwhile, that's just been sitting in your closet for years, and turn it into something. I mean, frankly, I really needed a bag. I needed another bag, and I have one. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is the most satisfying feeling. It's a satisfying density. It's a satisfying thickness. So the concept we're working here, and this is very important because this is what makes our creating powerful, it makes our art and our creativity so powerful, is that we are taking whatever we have, whatever that is, whatever, I talked about this last week, if you're dealing with a pile of manure, you are taking it and you're using it to make beauty. So will you think about that with me a little bit this week? Will you think about how you can, and I'm thinking about how I can take what is happening, both in my own personal life and in the collective experience, and use it for beauty, right? We're getting a lot of ashes, we're getting a lot of trouble, we're getting a lot of rags. Speaking of, I didn't even notice. Anyway, Sure, it has a hole in it. But anyhow, and we're going to take those things and make something useful, productive, and beautiful with them. I think that grandmother energy, you know, my own grandmothers were fiber artists. They could turn amazing things into things, and they didn't have a lot of resources, and they didn't have a lot of money, and they also lived through very difficult times. But when you create with that mindset, with that grandmother ingenuity and creativity, you can apply that also to every single other area of your life, because you're literally turning on that switch in your brain that says, yes, I have ingenuity, I have creativity, I can use what I have. What do I have? I'm going to start teaching a mindfulness and weaving class called Breathe and Weave on Sunday is our first class. So I'll link to that below. So please come and join us. It's available via Zoom, so you can be anywhere in the whole world. But we are going to learn how to use what we have. You can actually make a loom at home. If you have dresses, if you have fabric, if you have rags, you can weave. You actually don't even need any yarn at all in order to be able to weave. Right? Mind-blowing. So let's keep thinking about the fact that we can do the things we need to do. We can do the things we want to do. We can do the things that are important to do, even if the stuff isn't coming down for us. You know, I went to the yarn store today and they didn't have a lot of weaving cones, weirdly, and I don't know why. But it's not just about making do, right? That's from that little phrase, and that's what grandmothers do. They make do. Making do is its own genius. Making do is a catapult to our creativity. Making do takes us up to our next level. So instead of the mindset of like, oh, I'm just making do with what I have, we can actually be like, wow, when I make do, because that's what art is. When I make do, the new things happen. And is it just me, or do we really want some new, better, and more beautiful things to happen? Until next time, I hope you have a very creative, like a grandma, creative day.